Hello everybody and welcome to the Talladega Super Speedway for the 2005 UAW Ford 500 and the round of 12 elimination race here from the famed Talladega Super Speedway. Tony Stewart, who's already locked into the next round, starts on pole position alongside Jamie McMurray, the leader of the Nextel 5 Challenge drivers in this race. Joining him are Ryan Newman, Jeremy Mayfield, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Mike Bliss. We're green and underway here from Talladega. Who is going to survive the carnage and escape with a victory here today? We are going to find out in this round of 12 elimination race. Stewart and McMurray lead us off into turn 1. As you got quick little screenshots right there for the thumbnail. Stewart leads the way over Brian Vickers running in second. McMurray and Kurt Busch going to be doing battle for third behind them. But Stewart, of course, leading already 5 wins this season. Your regular season champion, already locked in the next round. Has had a phenomenal round. And has been easily the favorite for the championship most of the year. As here comes Brian Vickers on the inside lane in that number 25 Chevy. Vickers having a breakout year, winning 4 races en route to, of course, this round of 12 appearance where he is comfortably 40-plus points above the cut line. As long as no absolute disaster happens, I would be pretty confident in his chances to make it to the round of 8 for the very first time in his career. Behind him, here comes Elliott Sadler in the 38. Now, if Sadler wins, that would certainly throw a wrench in things. Of course, Sadler comes into this race 12th out of the 12 drivers in a must-win scenario to make the round of 8. What can the 38 do? Of course, Elliott Sadler got in with his win at Dover earlier in the year and managed to survive that first round of the playoffs advance. Sterling Marlin runs second, but Sadler to the point here, as now we're 3 and 4 wide throughout this pack. And in turn 3-4, Tony Stewart right up against the outside wall here on lap number 2. Almost 5 wide, in trouble. There goes Tony Stewart around. And we're crashing into out of turn 4 here at Talladega. Tony Stewart, Carl Edwards, Dale Jr. involved. As Stewart got squeezed into the wall, Dale Jarrett hit him. Jarrett slammed the wall, and then he hits Carl Edwards, who goes spinning and comes right down in the path of Dale Jr., who makes significant contact right there. Damage to the 8, the 20, the 88, and the 99. And a multi-car accident out of turn 4 could have been a lot worse. Brings out our first yellow of the day here at Talladega as Elliott Sadler leads. Now, when we get back underway on lap number 6, it's going to be Jeff Gordon and Bobby Labonte on the front row. Of course, Bobby Labonte, your 2000 Series champion. Jeff Gordon, a 4-time Cup Series champion. Still looking for that elusive 5th title in the drive for 5. As he works the inside of Labonte, behind them you got Quaffle and Marlin, as well as Mike Wallace, Bobby Hamilton, Joe Nemechek, Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, and others doing battle for position throughout this race. But it's Jeff Gordon now out front, leading for the first time today here at Talladega. Gordon, surprisingly, has had a really good round of 12 so far in a season that's kind of been a struggle for the driver, the number 24. Of course, he got his 1 win of the year at Sonoma in dominating fashion, but since then has just not been able to put a race together and get the win. Has had some bad luck, but hey, he's managed to advance all the way here to the round of 12 with a 26-point cushion above the cut line in a good spot to advance to the round of 8 as long as he doesn't get caught up in any of the carnage as well. I think he'll be okay. But meanwhile, Mike Wallace now in the 4 for Morgan McClure Motorsports just took the lead away from your Daytona 500 champion, Travis Quaffle, down the backstretch. And of course, Mike Wallace getting a big shove here from the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. And Jimmy Johnson once again has had another phenomenal playoff run coming off last year's Final 4 appearance. 3 wins this year, of course, all but guaranteed into the round of 8 at this point. Is now Michael Waltrip in the 15, driving his way into the race lead by Mike Wallace on the inside lane. How about Mikey? Of course, Michael Waltrip struggling this year for DEI as the whole team kind of struggling. Dale Jr. did make the playoffs with that big win at Daytona. Trouble into turn 1. We're crashing. There goes Kevin Harvick in the back. The 29 is around. More cars involved. It looks like Jeremy Mayfield and Casey Kane were also collected with Ricky Rudd, and indeed that is the case. Caution comes out as Harvick, Mayfield, and Ricky Rudd go crashing into turn 2. A 4-car accident here at Talladega brings out the caution flag. Mayfield just tags his teammate Casey Kane, cleaning out Kevin Harvick in the process. Of course, Mayfield, Harvick, both guys coming into this race below the cut line. Need a good day to advance. Not the way you want to start an elimination race, spinning around as we looked at the field going into turn 3, and there goes Kurt Busch. The 97 just got wrecked by his brother, and he takes out Sterling Marlin. Unbelievable. Kyle Busch just wrecked his brother Kurt Busch into turn 3, destroying the 40 of Sterling Marlin's silver bullet in the process. Marlin done for the day, showing his frustration with Kurt Busch by pulling up in front of him here out of turn 3 and 4. And Kurt Busch not by any means locked in yet, so don't count your blessings, as Kurt Busch comes into this race still at a good 50-point cushion. But you know, if everything goes a certain way, he could be in big trouble, as Greg Biffle now takes the lead away on the ensuing restart from the 00 Mike Skinner here on lap 15 at Talladega. Sterling Marlin right now the only car out of the race in 42nd place, as Biffle leads the way. Schrader running second, Quaffle and the 00 doing battle for third. Behind him, Schrader still leading. Here comes the 9 of Casey Kane for the lead into turn 1. Multiple 2 and 3 wide tight racing scenarios here at Talladega. No surprise at all. We expect great racing here from Talladega. Super Speedway Racing, its own beast, especially here in Talladega, Alabama, as Casey Kane continues to lead this race on lap 17. But here comes the one of Martin Truex Jr., who of course played a big role in the Daytona 500 earlier this season, who ended up, of course, when he got lapped, cost Kyle Busch the win. And now Truex back up front, leading here at Talladega over J.J. Yaley. A few laps later, Mike Wallace out front once again. But now here comes the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, making another charge to take the lead away from Mike Wallace. He got a good shove from J.J. Yaley, who of course is splitting the last couple of races with Denny Hamlin, that number 11 car for Joe Gibbs Racing. Of course, Hamlin coming off a runner-up finish in Kansas and an early wreck at Charlotte. Jimmy Johnson still leading as we go into turn 3 here at Talladega, 22 laps in. Behind him, Casey Kane trying to make a move. We're 4 wide, nearly 5 wide, and there's counting mines in a big crash into turn 3. It's the big one at Talladega, and it happens on lap 22. Multiple cars involved. Brian Vickers is in it. He is destroyed. Michael Waltrip, Matt Kenseth is involved in this. Quaffle. You got the 00 Skinner. Ryan Newman goes around. Greg Biffle gets a piece of it. Mike Bliss involved. Robbie Gordon. I see on the bottom, Jeremy Mayfield just gets tagged by the 00. That's going to destroy Mayfield's car. Nemechek flips Vickers upside down. 25 up and over here after the big one strikes at Talladega right from the middle of the pack, taking out multiple cars. Now, obviously, with Vickers, not by all means safe, but with Mayfield being destroyed, that will all but eliminate Jeremy Mayfield from the playoffs. Jeff Green also collected heavy damage. Here's the onboard from Jeremy Mayfield's Dodge as he just gets tagged by the bumper of Mike Skinner, and that destroys the front end of his Dodge, and that will put an end to his race and his season. Jeremy Mayfield has officially been eliminated from the playoffs with this crash, will not make it back to the round of 8 for a second consecutive season. Not quite able to get the job done. As Jimmy Johnson leads the way at the front, he'll be alongside Bobby Hamilton. You see now the long list of guys out of the race. Joe Nemechek also out with Jeff Green. Of course, Skinner. Brian Vickers out of this race in 37th. Not by any means safe, so Vickers will have to wait and see, as his hope relies on others' misfortune to advance the next round. Tony Stewart in the 20 also out, as well as the 6 of Mark Martin out of this race. So Mark Martin's horrible luck this season continues, getting wrecked out again. And Tony Stewart, who of course qualified on pole for this race, has been so dominant. Of course, already locked into the round of 8 with that big win in Kansas. Stewart wrecks out, so unfortunately not the run he was looking for, but he's fine. He can rest easy. Also, you see here, this guy's out, Ricky Rudd. Dale Jr. in the 8 is out of the race and out of the playoffs now. So your defending champion has been eliminated here at Talladega and will not be able to defend his titles. Jeff Burton's leading, but cautions come out. Martin Truex Jr. going into turn 3 gets turned by Casey Mears in the outside wall. Truex spins himself. Kurt Busch gets a little piece of it, but Truex goes around, and that brings out the caution here at Talladega. And now carrying on, Mike Wallace and Jeff Burton racing back to the line for the race lead. It's going to be Mike Wallace scored as the leader here over Jeff Burton at the yellow. They go back into race. See now the incredibly long stick of guys out. So like we said, Jeremy Mayfield, Dale Jr. both crashing out. Means their playoff run is over. Jr. and Mayfield both eliminated from playoff contention. Martin Truex now joins them out of this race, as well as the 10 of Scott Riggs, as Jeff Burton leads us back to the green flag here on lap number 32. Burton leads, Mike Wallace second, Scott Wimmer, JJ Yaley back there trying to work their way to the front of the field. So we already know 2 drivers that have been knocked out. So that leaves 2 drivers below the cut line that can still point their way in, those being Kevin Harvick in the 29 and the 38 of Elliott Sadler, who is must win in trouble into turn 3. There goes the 37. Tony Raines goes spinning to the outside while collects Kyle Busch and gets drilled by the 88 of Dale Jarrett. Heavy contact from Jarrett to Tony Raines as it was Kyle Petty clipping Ken Schrader. Sends Raines around. Kyle Busch able to hit the brakes and avoid. And then Dale Jarrett slams into him. Raines wrecked out of this race, as well as the 88 of Dale Jarrett, which is a shame for Jarrett, of course. Won this race in real life for what would be, at the time, his final career win, which still stands to this day. We're not going to be able to get it done today, as at the front it'll be Jeff Burton leading J.J. Yaley. Well, now Mike Bliss has taken the lead of the pack here on lap number 51, as Labonte and Wimmer do battle for second behind him. So here we go, about 5 laps to go in the stage here. Wimmer trying to make the move on the inside of Mike Bliss for the race lead. Wimmer gets a nose ahead, in trouble into turn 2. There goes Jeff Gordon and the 24, and Rusty Wallace is collected in the 2. Big damage to the bubble driver Rusty Wallace, who came into this race only 12 points above Kevin Harvick on the cut line, has heavy damage. Jeff Gordon significantly damaged as well, but fortunately for Rusty Wallace, Kevin Harvick is currently 3 laps down. So he, if anything does happen, he would be in a better position to hold that final spot in the round of 8 on points over Kevin Harvick. Obviously, unless Elliott Sadler makes things crazy with a win, as Scott Wimmer leads the pack, is now with that caution. This is going to end stage 1. So let's race back to the lines for the stage win. Wimmer trying to hold back Kevin LePage, but here comes the 5 of Kyle Busch, the rookie, to the inside lane, and Kyle Busch with a pass in the tri-oval is going to steal stage 1, get a playoff point, and 10 more stage points. Big time move there from Kyle Busch. Burton, Wimmer, Petty, LePage the top 5, then Kane, Robbie Gordon, Michael Waltrip, Bobby Hamilton, and Mike Bliss the top 10. So Kyle Busch, crucial 10 stage points earned. Gonna almost near solidify his spot, as now as we get back underway here, Scott Wimmer, Jeff Burton the front row. 132 laps to go here at Talladega. Stage 2 here with this 132 lap counter is going to end on lap number 61. The reason why we had to start a fresh new race is because the caution came out at a bad time in that initial attempt, so it ended up having us go infinite caution laps on the pace car with the glitch of the better cautions and auto stages mod. So I just saved the results from that, set the lineup here for this, and we're continuing on. Same results as before, so obviously only 25 cars left in this race, going back to Kevin Harvick in last, 3 laps down. Rusty Wallace and Jeff Gordon did crash out from that end of stage incident. So Rusty Wallace out of this race, as is Jeff Gordon in 26th and 27th place. Of course, ending their run today, but Gordon's pretty much locked in the next round. Rusty Wallace is the only one who's unsure, as we're 4 wide back coming out of turn 4, and the big one strikes again here at Talladega. A big pile up coming to the trial. Well, Harvick drills Elliott Sadler. They go spinning through pit road. Mike Bliss heavily damaged. Yaley piles in. Matt Kenseth involved, as is the 12 of Ryan Newman. That starts when Newman and Dave Blaney get together. Mike Bliss gets sent around. Yaley and Edwards go spinning. So does Carl Edwards. And then Mike Bliss gets drilled by Kevin Harvick, who then goes flying into Elliott Sadler's door. Both of those cars spinning wildly out of control into the infield and pit road, as the big one, our second big one of the day, happens here early in stage 2 at Talladega. Unbelievable here on lap 57. A massive pile up, taking out a lot of contenders, and if Kevin Harvick gets knocked out of the race from this, that'll be the end of his season. And turn goes Michael Waltrip and Schrader get turned going into turn 1 under yellow. After we cross the line, the 49 and 15 go around, they save it, and Wimmer leads us to the yellow, as it'll be LePage and Robbie Gordon leading us back to the green. For some reason, Kyle Busch and Mike Wallace are bringing it down the pit lane as we go green, so questionable decisions from your stage 1 winner, as well as Mike Wallace today, as LePage and Robbie Gordon leads back to the green. So J.J. Yaley out of the race. He'll finish 24th, as well as Kevin Harvick out of the race. And now, just like Dale Jr. and Jeremy Mayfield, out of the playoffs. Finishing 25th on the day. Kevin Harvick did not have enough. He only beat Rusty Wallace by 2 spots. So that's going to be 10 points between the two. And Harvick has been eliminated from playoff contention within the first 2 rounds for the second year in a row. Your 2003 champion Harvick out, joining Mayfield and Earnhardt. And that leaves just Elliott Sadler who the only way that he can now transfer into the round of 8 is by winning this race. And with the damage he's sustained from that first wreck, this can be highly unlikely, as here comes the 48 of Jimmie Johnson, who with all the carnage has officially clinched a spot in the round of 8 on points, as has the 97 of Kurt Busch. Due to all the playoff drivers crashing out, those two guys are just fine no matter what happens the rest of this race. They are advanced, joining Tony Stewart. Newman, Kyle Busch, Gordon, and Vickers are all likely advanced as well. The question is, who will get the last spot? Rusty Wallace, who's crashed out of this race, or Elliott Sadler if he pulls off the win. So Johnson was leading there on the restart, and now back into trouble. Robbie Gordon, McMurray spun to the inside, the infield here in turn 1. We just catch the end of it. The 42, the 15 spinning with Robbie Gordon. Jimmie Johnson possibly involved in the 48 here. Brings out the caution here on lap 67. So very interesting as we continue to progress our way through stage number 2. Your leader is going to be, I believe, the 9 of Casey Kane here. Actually, no, it's correction. It's the 41 of Casey Mears leading over Kevin LePage and Casey Kane. Now Mears leading as they catch the 99 of Carl Edwards, the lap car here. On to lap number 72 here. So still another 47 to go in this stage. Edwards in the middle. You got Kenseth, Kyle Busch, Bobby Labonte back here. Contact. There goes Edwards. Gets turned in the tri-oval into Kyle Busch, who gets slammed into the outside wall. Kevin LePage collected as well. And your stage 1 winner just gets tagged by Carl Edwards right in the middle of the tri-oval. Goes crashing hard into the outside wall. Big damage to Kevin LePage, who is having a career run, leading a lap, running inside the top 5, gets collected. Greg Biffle also gets a piece of it, as Bobby Labonte just tagged Matt Kenseth, who went down, clipping Carl Edwards, sending him right into Kyle Busch, nowhere to go. LePage also collected another big pileup here in the tri-oval at Talladega. Brings out the caution, and that'll probably put an end to the competitive day for Kyle Busch here at Talladega, as Ryan Newman now leads the way on lap 59 of this run. So that means we are now on lap 115. So about 4 to go in stage 2. Ryan Newman leads over Travis Quaffle now. 2 to go in stage 2. It is Kyle Petty leading this race. Mike Wallace behind him in second to the inside. Here comes the 4 of Mike Wallace, going for his first career stage win, and the number 4 Lucas Oil Chevrolet for Morgan McClure Motorsports, with Casey Mears following him in second, trying to get his 3rd consecutive stage win. Travis Quaffle, who won the Daytona 500, now in 3rd. Kyle Petty right there behind him in 4th, as now we hit the last lap of stage 2 here at Talladega. Who's going to find their way into victory lane? We are going to find out. It has been a wild, chaotic race, but right now, stage 2 concluding. Of course, Kyle Busch won stage 1, just got caught up in that big crash. So as he tries to limp his way around to the finish of this race. So we got about 8-9 cars in this pack. Mike Wallace able to hold off Quaffle, who went high, opening the door for Bobby Hamilton Jr. on the inside lane in the 32. Makes the move on Quaffle, but right now Mike Wallace just holding his line on the bottom, blocking these guys, as Ryan Newman there in the 12 behind him has himself in a good spot, as though the 32 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. pits from second place on the last lap of the stage. He's going to give up stage points, as Mike Wallace, through the tri-oval, is going to win stage 2 here in Talladega, his first career stage win. Kyle Petty second, Newman third, then Quaffle and Mears the top 5, followed by Jeff Burton, Jamie McMurray, Matt Kenseth. The top 8, Scott Wimmer 9th, and Kyle Busch will earn the last stage point. Jimmie Johnson just missing out in 11th, as Mike Wallace, first career stage win. How about that here, Talladega? Now caution came up because Kyle Busch has been involved in a big wreck here on lap 134. Kyle Busch has been crashed, and it looks like he'll be knocked out of the race, as well as the 4 Mike Wallace. So your 2 stage winners have crashed out here at Talladega. Kyle Busch and Mike Wallace, they will finish 22nd and 21st respectively. Ultimately disappointing, not where they wanted to, but for Kyle Busch, it is okay. He got enough stage points today, 11 total stage points, and with all the playoff drivers getting crashed out of this race, he has officially locked himself into the round of 8 in his rookie year. Extremely impressive feat there from Kyle Busch. He joins Newman, who is also clinched on points, as well as Jeff Gordon, who is also clinched on point standings. And obviously Stewart, Johnson, and Kurt Busch had already clinched before, so those 3 make it 6. As Jeff Burton now tries to find his way by the 45 of Kyle Petty for the race lead here into turn 3. Rusty Wallace right now trying to hold on to the 8th and final spot in the round of 8. And Brian Vickers has also clinched his spot on points. So there you go. There's only one spot for grabs. It's going to be either Rusty Wallace making it on points or Elliot Sadler making it with a win. It's highly unlikely the damage that Sadler has that he'll make it in. So likely Rusty. While the final spot in the round of 8 as pretty much already decided for the playoff drivers as Jeff Burton was leading there. But now here on lap 82 of this final 132 lap run, Ryan Newman leads the way over Jimmy Johnson. We are nearly 4 wide for third place going to turn 1 here. I don't know if that can last. Kyle Petty, Mears, Wimmer, Kenseth 4 wide into turn 1. As they keep bouncing on each other, contacted around goes Scott Wimmer into the outside wall on his side. A big crash for the 22 of Wimmer, upside down, end over end, tumbling on his lid. Comes to a rest upside down, right behind Casey Mears' Dodge, who goes crashing as well. Matt Kenseth heavily damaged. Of course, Jeff Burton, Travis Quaffle go around as well. Bobby Hamilton involved. Kyle Petty some minor damage. But mainly Scott Wimmer gets the worst of it, barrel rolling multiple times, landing on his roof and knocked out of the race. Here's the full speed replay. A hard crash up to the outside wall in turn 1. Here at Talladega, brings out the caution once more. Burton upside down. See everyone else making their way, racing back to the caution flag. Your 2 leaders left alone by themselves are going to be Ryan Newman and Jimmy Johnson, the 2 remaining playoff drivers left in this race, as Casey Kane now leads the way here with 35 to go, and now he's coming down pit lane. Casey Kane and Jimmy Johnson from the lead are in for their scheduled final green flag pit stops of the day. The 9 and the 48 are in, cycling the lead out to Ryan Newman and Robbie Gordon with Jamie McMurray. Now, field after lap 133 to go. Now Newman and Robbie Gordon are in for their final green flag pit stops. So far, we've seen 2 two-car tandems come in together for pit road. We'll see which tandem gets off on and off pit road the best. Now McMurray, who's cycled out the lead, came in now with 20 to go. 21 to go after staying out a long ways. That gives it up to Bobby Labonte and Dave Blaney. Dave Blaney came in. Now Bobby Labonte comes in from the lead here with 19 laps to go. Stayed out as long as he could, but now he comes in for service, and that should... well, that will now cycle the lead out to the 77 of Travis Quaffle, your Daytona 500 winner, but a caution came out after pretty much everyone who was on the lead lap got back on the lead lap. So now it'll be Jamie McMurray and Ryan Newman going in a 1v1 duel here for the $100,000 prize of the Nextel 5 Challenge here at Talladega, and for the race win here as we have just 12 to go at Talladega. We are back underway. Who is going to win this race? Will it be a playoff driver like Ryan Newman or Jimmy Johnson? Will it be Jamie McMurray getting the $100,000 cash bonus for winning the Nextel 5 Challenge in tandem with a victory? Or will Casey Kane pull it off to finally get a win in his sophomore season? Will Bobby Labonte have one last hurrah and find victory lane? We will see, as so far we got a good pack here, about 10 to 12 cars in contention. McMurray pulling ahead of Newman with a good shove from Casey Kane into turn 3, and Jamie McMurray and his Texaco Dodge clear for the race lead here at Talladega, trying to bring home a win and $100,000 for winning the Nextel 5 Challenge. As he leads over Bobby Labonte, he's working our way through trial. Now, a few laps later, Kane, Jimmy Johnson, Ryan Newman, almost 4 wide of Michael Waltrip with 40 able to clear. But now for the lead, here comes the 18 of Bobby Labonte with 11 to go. He swings to the inside of Jamie McMurray, and now Bobby Labonte takes the race lead back here at Talladega. The 18, who has not won in an extremely long time, trying to get one last win of his career. But now Ryan Newman got by Labonte on the inside, and now Ryan Newman leads the way with just 8 laps to go here at Talladega, coming to 7 to go this time by Newman, trying to win his 4th race of the year for the 4th consecutive season. But here comes Jamie McMurray. The 42 swings to the inside here, coming to now just 6 laps remaining at Talladega. McMurray to the inside of Newman. He will take the lead away as Jamie McMurray doing whatever it takes to get the $100,000 bonus for winning the Nextel 5 Challenge. He makes the pass on Ryan Newman, but Newman able to pull a crossover here now with just 5 to go. Newman taking the lead back from Jamie McMurray as he tries to win the Nextel 5 Challenge for the first time, and he also wants that $100,000 bonus as well as the automatic bid of the round of 8, which he's already advanced in. But more importantly, the 5 playoff points that come with it could be humongous for him to make the championship 4 for the 3rd consecutive year. As Newman leads McMurray here. Now 4 to go. They're going to split the lap car. Elliott Sadler 3 wide. What a move by Jamie McMurray to the inside. He'll take the lead. As all your leaders successfully negotiate Elliott Sadler, he's out of the way. He's pretty much out of contention now. He will be eliminated. Rusty Wallace will get the final spot in the round of 8. Now here comes Ryan Newman. 3 laps to go. This time by, they're going to hit 2 to go. Newman to the inside of Jamie McMurray in turn 3. Got a shove from Bobby Labonte. Can he take the lead? He's going to need the help of Jimmy Johnson in the 48, who has slowly crept his way up now into a battle for 3rd place here, biding his time, making his move at the right time to get in contention and possibly steal this win. But it's Newman and McMurray side by side for the win with just 2 laps to go here at Talladega. Who is it gonna be? Ryan Newman for Penske Racing, or Jamie McMurray for Chip Ganassi, or will someone else pull it off like a Jimmy Johnson, who is now shoving Ryan Newman clear of Jamie McMurray for the lead? Newman now in position to win the race and $100 grand as he leads the field. Now white flag in the air, final lap presented by Credit One Bank here at Talladega for Ryan Newman. He won here before a year ago in the spring race, so this would be his 2nd Talladega win. He's looking to get his 4th win of the year, which would be a feat he has now accomplished for 4 consecutive seasons. Jimmy Johnson in 2nd, Kane in 3rd. What will Jimmy Johnson do down the backstretch? Can he get a run? No! The 48 of Jimmy Johnson moves to the outside lane, leaves the door wide open for Casey Kane to come through, and has given up his shot at the win and maybe even screwed Casey Kane over. Now he's just going to side draft the 9. Johnson now dropping like a rock with Bobby Labonte. Cost himself some finishing positions there. They ultimately don't matter. He's going to advance anyway. Can Casey Kane get a run through the trial? Well, no. Dave Blaney to the inside. He's going to run out of time. And Ryan Newman is going to win at Talladega. The Rocket Man has done it again. His 16th career win, advancing to the round of 8, which he'd already done so on points. Now punctuates out the win an additional 5 playoff points and gets his 4th win of the season, which he has now done. He's won 4 races now in each of his first 4 career seasons. An impressive feat for Ryan Newman. 16 wins in 4 seasons, and is now 3 races away from being in the championship for a 3rd consecutive year. You see the final top 25 race results there on the left side of your screen, and you will see the updated playoff grid momentarily. So here's your final playoff grid. Of course, after the completion of the round of 12, Tony Stewart and Ryan Newman getting wins in the round, automatically punching their tickets. Jimmy Johnson comfortably advancing by 84 points, as well as Kurt Busch, who made it by 50. Kyle Busch, Jeff Gordon, Brian Vickers all made it by over 30. I mean, everything was pretty much sealed unless Elliott Sadler pulled off the upset win, which he was not able to. So Rusty Wallace ended up getting the final spot in his final season. Rusty Wallace's championship hopes are still alive in the round of 8. He eliminates Kevin Harvick by 10 points. Jeremy Mayfield, Dale Jr., Elliott Sadler just obviously didn't get it done. Mayfield, Earnhardt wrecking out. Sadler had to win, just got caught up in crashes, didn't have the car left to go up there and win. So those 4 are eliminated from the playoffs. Their season has come to an end. So your defending champion will not repeat here at NR 2003. Now we head to the round of 8. Atlanta, Phoenix, and Martinsville should be a very interesting round. Tony Stewart, the number 1 seed, with a comfortable 23-point gap above the cut line. Jimmy Johnson sits in 2nd at just 6 above the cut line. Ryan Newman, now with those bonus playoff points, sits 3rd, only 4 points above the cut line, with Kurt Busch on the bubble, 1 point above Brian Vickers for the final spot in the championship 4. Kyle Busch sits out by 11, Rusty Wallace by 13, and Jeff Gordon, the 4-time champ, by 18. As we're set for an amazing round of 8, which will be in the next episode at Atlanta. I will see you all then. As before we end the episode, I want to give a special shout out to my channel members. So thank you very much to Brenda Breen and Jeremy Isley. I really appreciate your guys' support. It means a lot to me and helps me and this channel continue to grow and do great things on our road to 1,000 subscribers. So those of you who are watching and are not subscribed, I strongly recommend that you please subscribe. It only takes 2 seconds. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you a dime. And you get access to all of my videos. And then if you want to become a channel member, the link is in the description down below, or hit the join button. You'll get access to exclusive perks. So until the next episode, I hope you all have a good one.